Am I the a-hole for charging my roommate rent after they refuse to help with chores? I, 26F, have been living with my roommate, Alex, 27F, for about a year now. We found a cozy two-bedroom apartment in the city, and at first, everything seemed perfect. We split the rent and bills equally, and life was pretty chill. But over time, I started noticing some cracks in our living arrangement. The problem began when chores fell completely on my shoulders. I'm all for shared responsibilities, but it felt like I was doing everything. Cleaning, taking out the trash, cooking. At first, I brushed it off, thinking it was just a busy phase for Alex. But weeks turned into months, and I began to feel increasingly overwhelmed. I'd come home after a long day at work, only to be greeted by a messy kitchen and a living room that looked like a tornado had hit it. One evening, after another exhausting week, I finally snapped. I confronted Alex about the chores. "Hey, I've noticed I'm doing all the cleaning and cooking. Can we talk about splitting this up more fairly?" I said, trying to keep my tone calm. To my surprise, she just shrugged it off. "I've been busy, you know? Work's been crazy. Plus, I thought you didn't mind. You're good at it." Her nonchalance hit me like a ton of bricks. It wasn't that I enjoyed cleaning, I just wanted a partner who would pull their weight. After a few more weeks of being ignored, I reached my breaking point. I decided to take a different approach. I drew up a chore chart, clearly outlining who was responsible for what. I thought it would be helpful, a visual reminder of our agreement. But when I presented it, Alex laughed. "This is ridiculous. You can't seriously expect me to stick to a schedule." That's when I had my aha moment. I realized that if she didn't want to contribute in any meaningful way, maybe I should rethink our arrangement. After a sleepless night filled with frustration, I texted her, "I'm going to start charging you a higher rent if you're not willing to help out around the apartment." The next day was awkward. I could sense the tension as I made breakfast, trying to gauge Alex's reaction. Finally, she spoke up. "Are you serious? Charging me rent for not doing chores? That's a low blow." I explained my reasoning, laying out how I felt taken advantage of and how the lack of effort was affecting our living situation. The conversation spiraled into a heated debate, and just when I thought it couldn't get worse, Alex dropped a bombshell. "I've actually been thinking about moving out anyway. This isn't the roommate experience I signed up for." That hit me hard. I felt a mix of anger and sadness. I never wanted it to come to this. But as we continued to argue, I realized we were both unhappy. In that moment, I understood that I wasn't just fighting for chores, I was fighting for respect. In the days that followed, things remained tense. We barely spoke, and it was evident that both of us were considering our options. But then something unexpected happened. One evening, Alex knocked on my door. She looked different, more serious than I'd ever seen her. "Can we talk?" she asked. What followed was an honest conversation. She admitted she had been overwhelmed with work and hadn't realized how much her inaction affected me. I shared my feelings of resentment and frustration. We reached a sort of truce. She agreed to take on specific chores, and in return, I would reduce the rent back to what we had initially agreed upon. Fast forward a month, and the atmosphere in our apartment has drastically improved. We've settled into a new rhythm. Chore swaps, dinner nights, even movie marathons. We both learned the importance of communication and respect. So Reddit, AITA for charging my roommate rent after they refused to help with chores? I feel like it was a wake-up call for both of us, and in the end, we both grew from it.